Welcome to Penelope Says,
Papa Show.
starring
Penelope.
and her daddy.
Daddy.
And today we're gonna read parts 5 and 6 of the Big Bible, Big Story, Big Picture by Story Bible.
Daddy here.
Oh, okay, and here it goes. It's about Abraham and Isaac. All right, now we gotta be quiet so they can hear the story. Okay? Guys, come back inside. Come back inside. All right. So at last, it happened. God kept his promise to Abraham and gave him a son, Isaac. Where's Isaac? Show him Isaac. Right here.
Isaac right here.
Okay.
And
God promise
John right here.
of a new people was beginning to grow. And God's promise passed from Abraham to Isaac. Where's Abraham?
He's a baby.
There's Abraham.
No, he was being a baby.
Oh. Well, that's Abraham. And this is Isaac.
And you can be that.
And that's Sarah.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah is
When-
a princess. Sarah is princess.
And when Isaac grew up, God gave him his son Jacob.
Who can be
Well,
Jacob?
who's in Jacob? This one. Jacob.
No, he's a baby.
Okay. Well, I'll be Jacob. God promise was beginning to grow, and so God's promise passed on from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob.
Jacob is here.
I'll be Jacob. Yeah.
Jacob.
When Jacob grew up, God gave him 12 sons. I have 12 kids. And named them Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Zebulun, Issachar, Dan, Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Joseph, and Benjamin. That's a lot of kids. God's promise was beginning to grow and grow, but God's people were growing
I
and
know.
number.
I know.
They also grew apart, like this. Apart.
Apart.
Jacob's many sons hated their younger brother Joseph,
Apart.
and they did
Apart.
an evil thing. They put him in a pit and then sold him to be a slave in a faraway place. Here, put him in a faraway place. Hey, you chewed it on camera. I put him in a faraway place. Alright. Isn't that sad? Do you think Joseph was all alone in a faraway Egypt? No, he was not. God was with Joseph, and God was going to use this evil thing that happened to Joseph for good.
That's above over here.
Okay, go get Joseph. Go. God
Daddy,
showed
just bend this. It's not big like.
God
It's
showed
It's not
Joseph
hard like our house.
that in a few years there wouldn't be enough food for all the hungry people in the land. Joseph believed God.
Yo.
And Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, believed Joseph, but put Joseph in charge of the kingdom. And Joseph helped him by storing up food. Where's our food?
I don't have food.
Doesn't
Am I
have-
big?
Is this food?
No, that's my scrubber to scrub my head.
We have to pretend this is food. How
But
is
there
it?
was food inside.
Pretend this is our green food. And
Yeah,
Apparently okay, so we have to put the food in the storage like this. Yeah, you do it. Put it in here. Put it in the storage.
My food has money too.
Oh yeah, money too. Yeah. Okay.
And money in my
People use money to buy food. You can put it in here too.
Well, there is money inside this food.
Okay.
And it has a zipper to zip it up, open it, and close it.
All right. Then came the time of trouble, just as God had said. People came from distant lands to make them walk like that. Another one. To buy stored food. They were all about to die. When Joseph's father Jacob heard that there was food in Egypt, he told his sons to go buy some. So they went. And Joseph was a very powerful man. He recognized him, but his brother did not recognize him at all. Oh, he didn't recognize Joseph. After all these years, Joseph could have gone even with him. Joseph could have sold him as slaves. Joseph could have killed them. Instead, Joseph gave them food and forgave them.
It makes me
He said, "Will you forgive me?" Oh no, actually, I forgive you for making me a slave. And actually, that's supposed to be his brothers. Let's pretend these are his brothers. Oh, he fell off. Save him. Okay. So he told them not to worry.
Diving.
He told them that
He's
God.
diving.
Oh yeah.
He's diving.
Okay, I'm reading the rest of the
He
story.
go to the pond.
The pond.
He
Okay.
fell into the pond.
All right, we gotta stay on track to our story. Okay, we cannot make new stories. I'm reading the story. You pretend to be the story, the puppet. Okay. He told them God had
Okay.
been with him
Are
in
you
Egypt.
older,
He told them
brother?
God had sent him ahead
I'm
to
gonna
Egypt
build this brother.
so that God's people would not die. Soon
I
Jacob's
did love
family would
my
begin to grow in Egypt.
What
And
do
that's
you
the end of
say?
part 5. Part 6. Jacob moved his growing household to Egypt. Bags were packed, camels and donkeys were loaded with things, and everyone started out. First came Jacob, the son of Isaac, the grandson of Abraham. Next came Jacob's sons, and then came all their families. 70 people moved to Egypt. By now, God's promises of great people was really growing. And
Daddy,
God's
you
promise kept
cannot
growing
see it
long.
because the big owl put a slate on there.
Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, you can't see. Don't block it. Okay, God's promise kept growing long after Jacob and his sons died. After 400 years in Egypt, God's people had grown into a great nation named Israel. So, in fact, Israel has so many people that the land was filled with them. So, how many people did God give Jacob?
12.
12. Okay, he gave him 12 sons, yeah. And then,
What?
and then how many more did he get?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Is that it? Is there more?
No, there was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And did the Pharaoh like them?
No.
Why?
He was jealous.
They're jealous?
He was jealous.
Of what?
The girl was jealous.
The girl was jealous. Oh, okay. Well, I was asking about the Pharaoh. Why
He
was
was
the Pharaoh?
jealous.
Oh, that's a him. He might have some long hair because of his Pharaoh crown that looks like a wig, but it's actually a guy. That's the way they wore clothes back in the day. Alright, so Pharaoh, the king of the land, hated the people of Israel. Pharaoh hated Israel's God too. So, is that sad? He hates God. You know what's going to happen to him when he hates God?
He's going. Why he's up in chains? Why they're up in chains?
Because they're slaves. They have to work for the king, the Pharaoh king. And he's being very mean to them.
Why?
Because he hates God. So he makes God's people who work hard and he treats them really bad. So what do you think is going to happen to him when he hates God?
He just begs.
Huh?
Begs.
Yeah, he disobeyed God. So he treated God's people like slaves and he made them work. He was so evil that he even killed some of God's people. God's people were in trouble and he cried out to God for help and God heard them. He make him cry.
Hey, you got my bracelet.
And here, make where's the girl doll? You do oh wait there, she's over there. Okay, make it. And God heard them. They cried out for God's help and God heard them. Do you see the little boy? He was God's answer to the people. Oh, wait. I skipped the page.
Are you okay?
Alright. Do you believe... Oh, do you see the little baby boy? He was God's answer to people's cry for help. His name was Moses.
Yeah, Moses.
Can he be Moses?
Oh, he's big.
Yeah,
He's big.
he can be Moses.
Look, Moses is a boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Moses is the boy. That's a boy, too.
But he's a big boy.
We're just pretending. Pretend he's
He's a big
And one day-
minion.
He would rescue God's people. When Moses grew up, God spoke to him. Moses listened to God, and then Moses did what God told him to do. He went to Pharaoh and said God's words. Let my people what did he say? Go. But the king said, you know what he said?
No.
Yeah, he did not listen to God.
Daddy, look at my hand. They dropped my bracelet.
Okay, well, let's stay focused on the story. Moses told Pharaoh that if he disobeyed God's word, terrible things would happen to the Egyptians. Did that make the king decide to listen to God?
No.
What do you think?
No.
No, Pharaoh still refused to let God's people go. So God made the river turn into blood
Why?
to show him how powerful God is. Now they have no water to drink. Then the entire land swarmed with frogs. And the dust turned into gnats, like little bugs flying all over your face, like that. And but Pharaoh still refused to let God's people go. Okay, we do your puppets. Look, make them run away from the gnats. Ah, get away from me! Ah. And there's frogs everywhere. Boink, 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 boink.
Blink, 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 blink. Boing.
So God made the house full of flies, and the animals of Egypt died like this. Like this. And the people got painful sores, like owies on their skin, like that. But Pharaoh still refused to let God's people go. So God made the hail fall from the sky like this. Can you make hail like this? And locusts covered the ground, and darkness spread all over the land. Like it's all dark. Should we turn on the lights? Nah, we'll do the lights. Alright, but Pharaoh still refused to let God's people go. Can you imagine what would take for Pharaoh to let God's people go? What do you think it's going to take?
I don't know.
Well, we'll find out next time. That's the end. Well, thank you for watching our puppet show.
Thank you for watching my Papa Show.
Subscribe to our channel.
Like channel.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
See you next time. Bye bye.